Israel has reopened border crossings into the Gaza Strip as its ceasefire with Palestinian militants appears to be holding.
It's a truce that follows 3 days of violence that left dozens of Palestinians dead. It was an Egyptian brokered ceasefire announced on Sunday evening, and Israeli officials had been targeting an Islamic Jihad militant group in the Gaza Strip. They say that they killed several high-ranking militants in their strikes. Palestinians counter that 44 people died in those strikes, including 15 children.
Joining us now from Jerusalem is CBS News Radio correspondent Robert Berger. Robert, welcome. Great to have you with us. So what has incited this most recent violence?
Well, a lot can happen in a week here in the Middle East. It was a week ago that Israel arrested a top Islamic Jihad leader in the West Bank. And then that brought threats of retaliation from Islamic Jihad in Gaza. According to the Israelis, the group was planning a cross-border attack on Friday afternoon with anti-tank missiles. So what the Israelis did is they launched a preemptive strike, killing a top Islamic Jihad leader in Gaza and attacking dozens of targets across Gaza. And then that unleashed the Islamic Jihad rockets. They fired over 1,000 rockets toward Israel in just 3 days of fighting, Israel launching about 130 airstrikes.
Mr. Ambassador, this agreement was reached rather quickly for the region. And also, I'm a little bit confused if you could help clarify here. So Hamas is the governing body in control of Gaza. It also has a militant wing that has done battle with Israel over the years. But we've got this smaller group, Islamic Jihad. What's the difference between the two? And then to the bigger question, how was the ceasefire able to be reached so quickly?
Well, Hamas, it rules Gaza. It has a big army, and it can fire thousands of rockets. It did in a war a year ago against Israel. It's much more powerful than the Islamic Jihad, even though they have similar ideology. And Hamas is certainly a radical group. Islamic Jihad is even more radical, but they only have a few thousand fighters. So the reason the ceasefire could be reached so quickly is basically Hamas decided to sit on the sidelines in this one, and Islamic Jihad had to go it alone. So their military against Israel's powerful high-tech army simply was no match. And so they opted for a ceasefire after losing 3 top commanders and perhaps 15 fighters, as well as arrest raids in the West Bank. They decided that they were better off going for a ceasefire. And Israel also felt that it was happy for a ceasefire before things escalated further.
All right. CBS News radio correspondent Robert Berger, who has not been upgraded to ambassador to any country that I'm aware of, despite my misreading a piece of paper here. We do have an ambassador later in the show, and we'll get to it. Robert, meantime, thank you very much.
Thank you.